You don't care they'd counting on your tips to live?
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Gout News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. No tagline yet, but I'm working on it. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, with two videos for this broadcast. First one will be Dspgaming, love and hate towards a game depending on the crumbs obtained, and anonymous and public tips. And the second video will be unbanning trolls and feeling the green vibes. Okay, so first things first, as all of you know, Phil's love and hate for a game does very much depend on the amount of contributions, the amount of support that is shown towards that game. Not just on Twitch, respectfully, but on YouTube. So that's something that should be taken into account. That's not something that should be an amazing surprise to any of us. Now, anonymous and public cheers, or tips. If I remember correctly, a new system has been implemented to where now you can, because I think you can cheer anonymously, but I guess now you can tip anonymously too. So it's, I guess you could say, for the Pig Roach cult, it's another way of those who want to be given credit will be able to move further and further up the tip ladder, and those who don't now have a bit more I don't know, they have a bit more security, I guess, to them. That, make that what you will. And for the second part, unbanning trolls and then feeling the green vibe, I would say feeling the green vibe has to do with money, obviously. And then unbanning trolls is not really up to Phil, to be honest with you. A lot of these guys are buddy-buddy with each other. Even people that you don't really see are buddy-buddy with some of the people who frequently get knocked out of pocket. Like, for example, Phil has an incredible hatred for Jake Loves, I think Jake Likes Cats, or is Jake Loves Cats. And he keeps getting banned on the regular and just keeps coming back because he's cool with people who I would assume are not only in the moderation circle, but people who are just high-end donors that Phil has to take the knee to. And so they keep coming back. He's one of many people who have that benefit, if you will. And Phil can't do much about it because money is what runs that place over there, to be perfectly honest with you. You can't really get around it. And so Phil unbanning a group of people makes sense. I guess it depends on who he actually unbanned. So we'll have to wait and see on that because I have not seen it yet. And we'll generally go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, the intro is going to be short, but hopefully the videos are fruitful. Hope you guys are having a good day. And let's go ahead and get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network Productions. You guys all know the slogan, and I don't smell no bacon cooking. I don't see no bacon cooking. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Time to watch me work.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Thanks to everyone who cheered some of the tips so far. Top cheerer is still Super Blind Man. And top tipper is still the first tipper of the day, King Carrot Flower. Our King of Carrot Flower. It's very slow today. I don't know why. It's a new release day. Apparently viewership's up and contributions are way down. Anyway, I'll be back for 2 more hours of Devil May Cry 5. So far, it's good, but I'm not great at it. I know, hopefully I get better at it as I play more, but I need that.
He hated the shit out of that game. Not even about the money, because I was going to wait a little while before we jump into this. But it wasn't even about necessarily the money. He just hated that game. He really did. He hated that game. And yet, he's still relying on a very outdated formula and business model, if you will, in air quotes, on expecting new games would bring in viewership and or bring in cheers and bits and money. It doesn't work that way anymore, man. I saw that full playthrough plus the ending like a day or two before he even started playing it. So, I mean, it wasn't really worth anything, to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of people feel that way now. Yeah, you can still go back and watch your favorite person play it. Like for me, one of the people that I enjoyed doing playthroughs. Actually, I'll name two people. A guy by the name of Chase Money and whatnot. Great, he's a great list player. He's entertaining as shit. And Maximilian Dude. And like I said, but before even those two guys, I saw the full playthrough plus the ending and whatnot way before Phil started playing it for sure. And I think Max has played it, and Chase Money, I think, is putting it off because he's already backed up on games. He's like 4 games deep before he'll get to it. He will play it though. I'll still watch them play it because I like the personalities behind it. But to think that you need to watch Phil Burnell to watch the game first, that has been out of the question for before I even knew who he was. So there you go on that.
Money to pay my bills.
Bit cheer during the break. I said, "Happy Friday, Phil. Thank you very much. Knows nobody." That makes you the top cheerer because honestly, it's been very slow in that regard as well. You know, not only has the stream not seemed to be very interesting to people because they're not even talking about the game, but contributions are way down. Like, that's the biggest cheer of the day right there. We've only had 2 tips. One was from a troll, and one was before the stream started.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. Give me your money, please.
We will be continuing on with Devil May Cry 5 here on the first stream. And I would like to be very honest about this game. After playing it for about 4 hours yesterday, I have mixed feelings about it, okay? Allow me to tell you what I think is good about the game. The graphics. The graphical style is great. Best graphics ever in a DMC, obviously. Really stylized, really polished in that regard. Haven't seen a single issue in regards to the graphics. They look really sweet, okay? The music. Even though some people don't like some of the songs that play during the combat, I actually am digging it so far. And I think that the music and the atmosphere of the game is really good, okay? And I would say to some extent the story, even though I really don't know what's going on. And to some extent, the variety of combat. And what I mean by that is the fact that you're not just playing one character for the whole game. You start off as Nero for the first couple of hours, but then you switch over to V and you get to play a completely different play style of combat. Now, will there be more of that? Will there be more characters you get to play as? Will you get to play as Dante? Will you get to play as Trish? Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see as the game progresses here. Will there be even more variety in the gameplay or not? Okay? So those are my positives. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I know some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. The negatives, alright? Number one.
Problem is, I need more money. I need fucking money somehow. You know? I'm so low on money.
They didn't really innovate too much. And what I mean by that is, at its core, what the game is pretty much exactly the same as every other Devil May Cry, okay? It's just combat. You beat the crap out of everything, and you find orbs, whether it's from combat or hidden areas, etc. You use those orbs to upgrade your abilities, and then you go back to combat. And your goal is to not only survive, but to use a variety of abilities, including your hack-and-slash combos, launchers, grounding moves, juggle moves, your grapple, your new abilities, which are all based around your arm, right? Your different arm types with Nero, as well as your guns, to build up a variety in your combo meter and get the highest ranking possible in a combo, to get the highest amount of skill points in a combo, while surviving, right? And that's cool, especially for those who have been huge fans of the Devil May Cry franchise so far. It seems like with the arms, the fact that there are a lot of different arms that all have different abilities, that it is pretty varied in that regard. But for someone as an, I don't want to say as an outsider, because I have played the other Devil May Cry games before, alright? But as someone coming into this game as not a hardcore fan of Devil May Cry, even though I've played the ones in the past and I like them, I was honestly looking for something a little more. And to be quite frank with you, I think what really made me feel this way was
Monies.
Did you feel the same way for 4? Did you feel the same way for 3? Did you feel the same way for 2? Okay, I'm just asking, and whatnot. I'm just asking. You know what I mean? At the core, that's what Devil May Cry is. Similar to Bayonetta and whatnot. Didn't keep in mind they've only made like what 2 of those, I think. So I mean, it is what it is. But that's what people want. They want more options. They want maybe longer. Maybe they want more of an open world, which they kind of provided that. They want things to make it a bit more immersive, but at its base, if they have a strong foundation, so why would they need to change it?
last year's God of War. You know, God of War took
It's not, I mean, it's not like your personal business where the whole thing was flimsy and was built on shit. Just saying. Your business was based on the general idea, fact, and reliance on people liking you and overlooking the flaws in the content, which is fine, but when you were given opportunities to improve the content, you didn't. And then you lashed out at the very people who overlooked your general flaws to keep supporting you. Just saying, that's just a couple of cliff notes. Dspnews.
From a previous, games in the franchise and expanded upon it so dramatically, adding open world roaming and exploration, almost RPG-esque elements to the game, while still retaining really great, robust combat that was always a major part of the franchise to begin with. So basically, it was like God of War on steroids when you played that game last year. If you had played the previous God of War games, it was like a giant step up, okay? So now, I go to Devil May Cry 5, and I'm like, wow, this is Capcom's opportunity to maybe bring their franchise into the modern era. How will they do it? And the answer really is they didn't. It's pretty much the same as the other Devil May Cry game. I would say very similar to Devil May Cry 4. Obviously, some of the older Devil May Cry games that had fixed camera angles and stuff, no, it's not like that. But, yeah, definitely it feels like an older school style game. It doesn't feel like they tried to bring this one into the modern era too much.
This guy constantly whining. Wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Wah. Oh my god.
So that's why yesterday, I was kind of getting a little bit bored with the game. I played it for about 2 hours, and at that point, I was still playing with Nero. I hadn't switched over to V yet. And I was kind of starting to get bored with it. But then, when the game did switch over to V, I actually started liking the game a lot more. I was like, wow, now there's more variety, because now you'll be able to switch between the two characters, right? And that way you're not just locked into the same thing for the whole game. And I do like that they did that. I think maybe they even realized, man, if you just played Nero the whole game, this game would be outdated. Let's do some modernized stuff. Let's have different characters and stuff in here.
And it's hilarious because we just had a fanboy in the chat who's going absolutely fucking nuts that I'm criticizing the game. How dare Phil criticize this amazing game? This guy's a clown. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's salty as fuck. It's like pure salt. All you could taste was salt. You couldn't taste anything else. So literally, just because I'm not in love with the game that you're in love with, I guess that means that my opinions are null and void. And even though I am trying to rationally express myself, just because you don't agree with me, that means that, that everything is written off, right? I mean, come on. Grow the fuck up.
My mouth is full of salt.
Seriously. Grow up.
That's the legitimacy I've talked about in the past, where he wants his opinions to be taken seriously, and he's upset that it still isn't. It's in his mind, it's already bad enough that he's being trolled and whatnot. He has detractors, so on and so forth. But he's mad that he doesn't have any real legitimacy. He's mad that his word doesn't carry any weight outside of his hug box, when in truth it doesn't carry much weight in his hug box either. But that's what hurts him more than anything. It's absolutely amusing, to say the very least.
This is how stupid you can be and how ignorant you can be. I am trying to be fair to the game, I could have easily said, oh, well, I wasn't super impressed in the first 4 hours, so I'm dropping the game, like some streamers do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going. I know the game's not that long anyway.
What I can tell you is, at least for the first 4 hours of God of War versus the first 4 hours of Devil May Cry, God of War was way better. It had refined combat, which is great, just like Devil May Cry, but it had these cool RPG elements and a great story and everything going for it, while Devil May Cry is pretty much just combat, 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 combat. Okay? That's a direct comparison that I can make and say, there you go. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. But don't come into the chat and act like a little spoiled brat. Oh, you don't like the things that I like, but you're a clown. No, you're just a moron.
Toxify it. Why am I toxic? More toxic, overdramatic, drama queen toxic. Oh my god, I'm toxic, I'm fucked. I'm dead. He's toxic. Every fucking day he's toxic. Every day he's here, he's toxic. Every single day he comes in, he's toxic. Yep, I'm toxic. Oh, Phil actually is a really toxic person, so we're just gonna keep saying, why am I toxic? Because it's a meme. Negative toxic behavior on Twitch. Insane amount of disgusting toxicity. Why are you even here? You know that's the, that's the kind of streamer I am. Why are you even here, right?
Here, let me go ahead and open this. Let me go ahead and expand this for you real quick so you guys can see it if anybody's interested. It's basically Phil kissing the ass of the game at this point, which is kind of suspect, to be honest with you. It's very suspect. And also, it wasn't just the fact that he wants to, that he wanted to get more money out of it, and that he probably did, but also he didn't want anybody else, like any bigger streamers, to come on him and end up basically smacking him down for it. Like, that's another thing too. I think I already did that video where Phil talks about how modern Phil has changed from old Phil. Modern Phil will pop shots at people who he thinks won't hit him back. But since everybody on Twitch is prioritized, right? Excuse me for a sec. Since everybody on Twitch is basically prioritized on who's more important than others, he knows that taking shots at a bigger streamer would really hurt him because behind the scenes they could fuck him over. If not, you know, get him knocked out of pocket. And he doesn't want that. So, yet again, this is what happens when you give up your freedom for security. And it's no different. And it's funny how he shits on people, calls them shills, says that they're all paid to play games and like him, or pretend like they like him, so on and so forth. He does the exact same thing. He thinks that he's better because, oh, I'm not getting paid by the corporation. It's crowdfunding. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving you guys my honest opinion. You guys know me. You guys can trust me. In reality, he's tried to get those sponsored deals. Those sponsored deals. He's tried to get those corporate deals, and he can't do it. Whether because some good Samaritans end up beating him out of it, or just off the general principle that he's going to fuck it up himself, whether through his own background checks or whatever the case may be. So don't get it twisted like he's legitimate. Don't give him any notion that he believes or he cares about any of the stuff that he does. He doesn't. It's all about money. It's always been that. And now that he has all these people who can call him out on it, he's uncomfortable. He's been uncomfortable, but he certainly has grown. He's grown a lot. His disdain, I should say, has grown so much more obvious and has just grown itself. And that's kind of amazing. That the one thing that you did and lied for years and said that you enjoy, you like, you're a gamer, you know, this, that, and the third, you were one of us, yada, 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 whatever bullshit excuses he gave. At the end of the day, because he's not profiting the way that he feels that he should, given the amount of time he's been doing it, now he really does hate it. And you're seeing it more and more out of him. He can't even hide it anymore. He can't even hide his general disdain for gaming in general and the people in it, especially since he's getting up there in age. On Twitch, he's not the oldest, but he's probably one of the, for how often he streams, I would say he's probably one of the oldest for how often he streams on Twitch, which is kind of amazing. And for someone who is fighting just to stay afloat. Like, if you think about it, if you had to grade him on a streaming scale, he's failing. He's got a huge ass F compared to others his age or older who are easily B pluses, if not higher. So there you go. DSP News.
So, starting tomorrow, all of my streams will start an hour earlier. I'm going to repeat myself. Starting tomorrow on Sunday, All of my streams will start an hour earlier. Alright? What is the purpose of daylight saving? Who fucking knows at this point? I hate it because it screws everything up for me. It makes it so that for like a week or two, people don't know what time I'm streaming, and everything gets screwed up. Plus, I lose an hour of sleep overnight tonight, which sucks.
So please consider tipping me. Oh, ooh, I gotta eat it. Gotta eat it. Oh,
You can either leave your name in a message when you tip me, or you can be anonymous. Alright? Either one. It's up to you. Now, someone just asked in the stream chat, and I apologize because their name scrolled up, but I read the message. Is it really anonymous? Will I see information and the like? No. If you do anonymous, it's anonymous. Like, I won't know who actually gave me that tip. At all. You know? So if you're an anonymous tipper, you're an anonymous tipper. I don't have any information. There's no way that you can get doxxed or whatever, because some people have expressed concern. Oh, what if I tip Phil? I'm trying to be supportive to Phil, but when people get my information and harass me, not if you do an anonymous tip. There's no way that anyone could get your information. Okay? Just saying. Because people have been looking for anonymous ways to contribute because they're afraid of being attacked by trolls and stuff. Just do it anonymously and you're fine. Okay? No golden cults. I don't see that. He's saying, if someone tips anonymously, do I see payment information like the name of the person who paid? No. No, in fact, I think, if I'm correct, and I don't know because I don't double check this stuff, the only thing I ever...
Now, here's another thing I'd like to point out to you guys also. So, you remember all those individuals who try to come to him behind the scenes to give him money and so on and so forth, and he said, no, I want everything to be done publicly, you know, so no one can say anything, and now we have anonymous tipping and anonymous sharing and so on and so forth. The reason why he's pushing it is he's hoping for the next big whale to come through who really wants to be anonymous and really just wants to give him a large amount of cash and bounce. This is the way of doing it now. Whether tipping him when he's there or he's not there, either which way, it literally keeps that person from anybody ever finding him. And that's why Phil's pushing the narrative. Oh yeah, you guys can actually give me big tips now, this, that, and third, and do it completely anonymous. I get the money right away to help me with my problems, so on and so forth, nothing to worry about. This right here is basically the shield he's been looking for since Emailgate, when he got ousted for trying to sell statues and stuff, and when the alleged sponsorship deal, which I think was done by the same guy. And then there was a third person in there too, or a second person in there also. So this is his, you know, this is kind of his safety blanket. Hence the reason why he's continuing to push it. He wants to make sure that people know, people understand, you can give me money anonymously, you can give me large amounts anonymously, and no one will ever find you, and it helps me out. I just wanted to point that out because I've been thinking about that for a little bit.
See is if there's an issue with the payment, then I get information, like I'll get the email address that was registered to that PayPal account. So for example, let's say someone tips me $1, and then they try to dispute that dollar and say that, Phil didn't...
Now, here's another thing that I think James the Lesser and LSB pointed out, and maybe Theo, that he can see your information regardless, or at least your email. Because I think James the Lesser said through Streamlabs, because as we know, Phil uses Muggsy, but through Streamlabs, he can see your email. And I think LSB said something similar too when someone tried to do a chargeback on him. So you're not just out in the clear. And it's not if a matter of, if you charge me back, I can see your information. He's saying that as a deterrent. He's saying that, hey, don't charge me back, because if not, I'll actually know who you are then. Or I know how to get in contact with you, and I can report you through such and such. Which doesn't really matter, because just use a SOC email account. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But he's putting that out there now as the deterrent. So, hey, if you send me the money, I get to keep it. Just putting it out there. Just my thoughts, though.
Didn't mail the product. They're trying to scam PayPal to get their money back. I think then I get the email address that person used to register their PayPal account. I think I see that. And that's it. I don't get a name. I don't get an address. I don't get to see what method that person paid. None of it. It's all anonymous. So none of that is exposed at all. Oh, Golden Gold says not anonymously a normal tip. With a normal tip, all I see, again, I think with a normal tip that's not anonymous, all I ever see is an email address. That's it. So I'll see the email address that, that you, I guess you registered with or whatever. And that's it. But by the way, that's only visible to me. That's not visible to anyone else. Whatever you're when you're tipping, only what you choose to be public becomes public. If you want to give your name and a message, you can. If you say anonymous, you could just have it blank, and no one ever sees anything ever. Okay? Yeah, I don't know. Like, people are, I'll just fill out all my full information. No, I don't have anything. I don't even know your name. Nothing. It's all done, it's all behind the scenes stuff. So, as long as you're not putting your full name...
Even though he just admitted that he can't see your email address.
Address in your email? Oh, well, my name is Phil Burnell, 15753 Mockingbird Lane, blah, 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 at gmail.com. As long as that's not your email address, none of that ever becomes public, okay? So no worries there.
Yet again, though, why would that even matter, though, if you can't see his email anyway? I'm just, whatever. Whatever. It's piggy psychosis, I guess.
Bring your best.
So we start off with Genetic Gamer. He says, I've been watching some of your older Ask the King podcasts, and you talk about how copyright strikes destroyed your YouTube following. What one event would you say destroyed your YouTube following? That would be it. It was 2015, and my YouTube channel, Dspgaming, was still a huge gaming channel on YouTube. Every time I played a game, alright, my videos, my gameplay, ended up going into the rankings, the high-up rankings for people doing gameplay. I was probably within the first 2 to 3 pages, no matter what game I played on YouTube when you searched for that game. I would get a big influx of views based off of that on Dspgaming. And then what happened was, that was the year when basically a bunch of people maliciously intended to hurt me, alright? They started posting fan art on my forums, saying, yes, you can use this on your streams. Like, that's outright what they were doing. They were giving outright permission to use this on my streams. So I did. And then, in late summer of 2015, they started copyright claiming all of the fan art, saying, oh, look, I posted that up on DeviantArt before Phil ever used it, and I never gave him permission to use it. Now, the thing is, it was all automated. It wasn't like a human ever looked at any of this situation to figure out the truth of the matter. And back then, YouTube was so bad with copyright that they just said, oh, well, we just believe them no matter what. And they actually struck down Dspgaming with copyright strikes. And it's bullshit. How can you get copyright strikes for fan art that was given permission to use, right? And it wasn't just fan art. Also, there were intro videos. Remember, 2015 was the year when I had done the green screen stuff. And yeah, I did the green screen stuff. And people used that to make videos, and then gave them to me and said, Phil, use these on your streams, we love you. And then, 2 months later, claimed all those streams on YouTube saying, oh, that was my video. Which makes no sense, because how could it be their video when it's me in the video? Like, they used my persona, my...
Are you sure they said they love you or they love your content? I really feel like, in his own head, Phil's always under this impression that people love him, and that's why they come out and see him. Like I said, they just love your content, or at least they did, or at least mildly amused by it. And if they did love you, like I said, no one loves you online forever. You gotta take that at face value. Shit, most people won't even like you forever online, let alone love you. So you need to get out of this mindset. Looking for love in all the wrong places, son. I should really have a Tupac song playing for that.
Visage, I guess would be the best way to say it. In their own fan-made green screen video, it gave it to me permission to use it, and then claimed it afterwards. Which makes no sense. It's me in the fucking video. How can you claim against me for me? But again, YouTube systems were so bad back then that they would allow this. It was all automated. So I got a ton of strikes against Dspgaming. And at that point, I was still partnered with Machinima, and I had a meeting with the head of partnerships at Machinima, alright, and YouTube. We were all there together. And I said, what should I do? And I was told directly by YouTube, take down any video, that has this kind of fan art in it. Because these people may have already put in dozens, if not more, of these strikes against you. And they could already be in the pipeline, and there's no way that they can stop them because it's an automated process. So I had to go and delete, oh man, hundreds, it took me a whole day, hundreds of videos. And millions of views were deleted from Dspgaming, the channel. And when that happened, basically when that happens, when you see someone delete a ton of videos and millions of views are erased, again, YouTube's algorithms, everything automated, says, oh, there's obviously something wrong with this channel because there's no way that a legit channel with no kinds of funny business going on would have millions of views deleted and all these videos deleted overnight. So when this happens, it kicks you out of YouTube's rankings. And I actually confirmed this again about 2 months later.
Now, let me talk about that for a minute, because I have a theory on this. Okay, so Phil has said on a couple different occasions that Machinima, that either YouTube, Machinima, or both, because he changed his story up, told him to delete the videos. Now, I want you to think about this rationally for a minute. You get a copyright strike because of some fan art. You're with an MCN. The MCN can work the shit out. They tell you... Now, my best guess is they would told him, because there's another set of lore to all this. They would have told him to, hey, private the videos at the very least, and we'll see what happens. Okay? Private the videos, we'll see what happens. Phil says that he follows their direction, whether they told him to private it or delete it, and then all of a sudden his YouTube channel screwed up. And it's not his fault, it's the troll's fault, despite the fact that Machinima, YouTube, or both told you to delete the videos. Or private them. Okay? So I want you to think about that. Would Machinima or YouTube tell a partner... Fucking A. Would they tell an MCN partner to delete videos? To delete hundreds of videos at that? Millions of hours worth of views. Do you really think these companies, either one of these companies respectfully, would tell you to do that? Here's the other story. If you guys have ever seen Down the Rabbit Hole, great video, by the way. Great video. When it pertains to the DSP. Well, actually, they all are. They're actually, all the Down the Rabbit Holes are actually really good. It is said in that one, I think, by the creator, that Phil had actually privated the videos, and that's what caused them to fall out of... and for whatever reason, when he privated them, it caused all the views basically to disappear. It just took him out of the algorithm just through privating it. And that's what initially fucked him over. Now... I had been thinking about that right around the time Spamgate came out, because as you guys might have remembered, he let all of the videos go after he came off of that 10 days, 12 days of not being able to monetize Dspgaming, and I don't know if anybody actually saw those pre-streams come back. I know I tried to look, but like most people, I saw the Q&As, and that kind of caught my attention. I should have probably stayed more focused, to be honest with you, but I wasn't thinking at the time. So we don't know if all those pre-streams came back, which means that the videos are actually privated and not deleted. Now, back to my actual theory. I think my theory is Phil deleted the videos. I think the moment he saw the copyright strike on his channel for the fan art, he just started deleting all the videos he could find with it in it. I'm not saying that he didn't contact YouTube, or Twitch, or Machinima, sorry. YouTube, Machinima, or both. I think he did. What I'm saying is that he contacted them, didn't hear back right away, panicked, as usual, and went and started deleting videos. By the time any of them reached back to him, or by the time he noticed they reached back to him, they were like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, well, I deleted those videos because it's these trolls and haters trying to copyright strike me. And they're like, well, why'd you delete them? Why didn't you just private them? And he's like, and end the story. So it depends on how you want to look at it. The devil's in the details as it pertains to, did he actually private them or did he delete them? My thought is he panicked, and as Phil does in any situation, he does everything on a whim, and he just started deleting videos. All the videos he could find, he just started deleting them. Because it doesn't take you long to delete videos, especially if you know what you're deleting. Just saying. It wouldn't have taken him all day to private them, would it? So, just something to think about. DSP News.
With Machinima and YouTube, that Dspgaming, that had once been very prominent in YouTube's rankings for a gaming channel, was removed. And so now, none of my videos were showing up in the high-ass rankings for gaming.
Salud.
You would have to specifically search for Dspgaming in a game to find my videos. So I went from being one of the most prominent gaming YouTubers associated with, a new game comes out, my video would show up in the search, and you'd be able to find the stuff, and then we get lots of views because of that, to getting absolutely zero organic
And another thing I'd like you to think about, right? We're talking about an individual at that time who had, what, 30,000 plus, maybe if not 40,000 videos already? Let's say 30,000 plus. He had 30,000 plus videos. He deleted 300 to 600 videos, we'll say 300 to 500 videos. Somewhere in that range. And it completely took his YouTube channel out of search. I want you to think about that for just a second. Out of the tens of thousands of videos that he has, it only took a couple of hundred to completely kill him in YouTube search. I just want to point that out. I really want you to think about that. Now keep in mind, I'm coming from a much more recent standard, you know what I'm saying? But I just want you to think about that for a minute. DSP News.
There was none from YouTube's search or related videos. None. And in fact, it actually got worse because if you remember, people were making so many negative videos about me. Now the negative videos were in the search rankings, so people were seeing negative stuff before they ever saw my stuff, okay? And it sucks because, quite frankly, this situation ruined my YouTube following. Like, I, at that point, had been able to do YouTube solely for a living. And it was actually that year, 2015, when that was it. It fell through, and I had to start doing Patreon, and I had to seek other methods of income because just the YouTube income wasn't enough anymore. And quite frankly, everyone, since then, it's just been a downward spiral, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, there's absolutely nothing I can do to fix the situation. It was 100% the work.
Now, keep in mind too, despite what in spite of what Snort Burnell said, he was in a decline too. It's not just what Snort Burnell said that was leading to his decline, but the channel was already on a decline from a view standpoint anyway. You know what I mean? It was already in a bad spot since what, 2013, if not 2014. He was already on a slippery slope. And because Machinima saw the lack in views, they felt the need to, well, let's go ahead and renegotiate his contract. If they feel the need to renegotiate your contract, especially a couple of times over the span of a few years, it may come to a general realization to them, that do we really need to promote this individual? Is he really worth our time? Cutting him down on his pay is one thing, but shit, you really think they're going to promote you and cut your pay? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if you're not going to put in any more effort, then why should they put any effort trying to promote you? So, cutting your paycheck should be the initial, or cutting your pay should be the initial thing to be like, you know what, I got to start doing something different. Phil never did that. So then after a while, well, we'll just stop featuring him. If they even ever did. You see what I'm saying? His views were already in a decline before all that nonsense and everything that basically turned, you know, people against him. He did it all on his own. You know what I'm saying? He did it all on his own. And then if my theory stands correct about he deleted all those videos on a whim, then shit, fuck him. He has no one to blame but himself at that point. But yet again, it's everybody else's fault. Oh, I did what I had to do to survive. You weren't even thriving at that point. You know what I mean? You weren't even thriving. So, there you go.
Those fucking trolls that destroyed my YouTube career. I could have been able to keep doing YouTube full-time indefinitely if that hadn't happened. But that one act of copyright abuse and fraud, because it's a crime to do it, it's illegal, it's fraud, screwed everything up. And since then, I had to do everything. Change everything, you know, rebrand the channel as a different kind of channel. It's just an archive channel now, refocus, and now I'm a streamer, you know?
Yet again, I want to point out one more time. 50,000 plus videos, or, well, he had like 30,000, maybe 40,000 plus videos around that time, right? And 300 videos screwed all that up. I want you to think about that. Just saying. Dspnews.
I had to make so many different changes as a result of that. And, you know, there was nothing I could have done about it.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
It was maliciously planned as an actual attack against me. The people who did it came out later and admitted this was all planned from the start. And they had always intended for this to happen to me. It's fucked up. Again, people I don't know. People I never did anything negative to.
Silver-tongued talker, right? Oh, I'm just going to say it one way, and hopefully you'll believe it, even though that's not the truth. And that's literally what's happening here. The guy's a liar. The guy's a fucking blatant liar and lying to everyone. But people are believing it because they don't know any better.
Pretty fucked up, huh? But that's what people do. Just because, you know, they can, oh my god, this is so good. I had a negative impact on someone. Oh, wow. And it gives them a value, like a feeling of self-worth. Because then they realize they don't have any, you know? So, oh, wow, I actually hurt a YouTuber? Oh, wow, I'm such a special person. Because I did something impactful on someone, you know? It's fucked up. It is. It's just messed up. And, you know, for people like us, normal people, this is just like a heinous thing. You think about it, you're like, wow, that's really messed up. Like, here's someone who busted his ass for years and years to put out content for free and was making a living on it, and you took away his living, you know? For what? For nothing. Just because you could. Yeah, and that's my fucking reality. Seriously.
People trying to play as the...
All right, let's talk about that normal people thing for a minute. How's, if you want to talk about being normal, right? Which none of us are normal, by the way. Because if you're normal, you're boring. Let's be honest. Let's talk about what normal people do then. Let's just go off that narrative. Do normal people sit there and flaunt their, and I use the term wealth loosely. Do you flaunt your wealth in front of your friends? One minute you're driving some piece of shit Pontiac or whatever he said he was. Now all of a sudden he's driving a BMW. While at the same time, the people who are actually doing the editing and the filming for a project that you're making money off of, that you went to MagFest to promote, and this, that, and the third, aren't getting a cut, and they're actually heading over to your house to talk about the fact that, hey, maybe you should consider doing this, yet you got a brand new BMW out front. Do people oust their girlfriend that they've known for 5 fucking years because, what, she was an inconvenience to you during an Acts of King or whatever it was that he was doing at that time? And she has a nervous breakdown, you go and pick her up, bring her home, throw a couple chicken sandwiches at her and put her to bed, and then you go off and make a video so you can profit off the time that you missed on stream? Is that what normal people do? Do normal people sit there and fly a woman out that you don't even know multiple times from Michigan to Connecticut? Or no, from Michigan to Seattle, and then act like you're taking a break, blatantly lying to your fan base? Does a normal person sit there and lie and say that they have tax problems while in actuality, and later on, admits that they used that money to move Kat in? Calling her your soulmate? You didn't even knew her less than 4 months? Do normal people do any of these things? Do normal people who, with their ex-girlfriend that they had lived with for like 3 years, 3.5 years, only start to learn how to use a washing machine after they picked up and left on them? Is that what normal people do? Do normal people pay for a luxury package for a car that they were leasing and never get the oil changed? Never get the car detailed or anything? But yet are willing to pay an extra $100+ a month on that, if not more, just to say that, oh, I pay $100 extra or whatever the case may be for this luxury package, yet never used it? Is that what normal people do? Do normal people move from one state to another and not rent out the property that they have? Just keep it there and continue to pay on it? Do normal people even leave a piece of property that they have in one state to go to another piece of property in another state that they clearly can't afford? Do people even consider moving from one state to another when their job is currently in a decline and their income's in a decline? Do normal people do that? Do normal people get up every day and beg for money and have the nerve to say, I make more money than that guy, and no matter what you guys say about telling me to go and get a job, I still make way more money doing what I'm doing now than I would if I went and got a 9-to-5? Yet he begs you and pleads with you guys to please give him money because he's going to overdraft his account. Or his account or accounts are already overdrafted. Is that what normal people do, ladies and gentlemen? Really?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. They do something bad, but then they realize, oh shit, maybe we went over the line and we're going to get in trouble for it. Oh, quick, let's try to flip it so that we're innocent. It's called, defense mode, panic mode, for people who know that they screwed up.
That's my reality. It sucks.
All right, and Jake Likes Cats appropriately was timed out for being a negative dick. And if you don't like it, why are you on my fucking stream? Toxic toilet juice. No one wants to hear this. Well then, why are you on the stream? If you don't want to hear me talk about my past and talk about things that have happened to me, why are you here? Right? Again, maybe you should reevaluate why you watch certain people. What the fuck, man? What am I doing? Hey, number one. Did you see that? Oh.
Smells like Mass Effect. Just finished the Mass Effect.
Oh. Why am I doing this? What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the second and last video of the broadcast. Snort Burnell, Dspgaming, unbanning trolls and feeling the green vibes. Here we go.
Faggot. Phil's.
It's time to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit. That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Also, without drawing too much drama or attention to it, I would like to welcome back two stream chatters who formerly, sadly, misbehaved a bit, and they have been banned for quite some time. After basically being away for a long time, they have behaved. They have expressed the will to come back multiple times, and I feel that in the spirit of positivity and, forgiveness, that they should come back. So they are back. You may recognize some familiar faces from the past in the stream chat. We'll see how this goes. They are aware that, they're not allowed to now go crazy. Moderators are keeping an eye on the situation. So welcome back to them. Because some people already are probably saying, whoa, what are they doing back? Well, that's why, okay? So that's why they're getting a shout-out, so everyone knows what's going on. Fair enough?
Wow.
All right, so let's do some shout-outs. First of all, we start out with Genetic Gamer, who cheered overnight. Then he cheered again. He says, thanks for unbanning New Face of Creation and King Kozatov. It shows how much of a fair streamer you are. It's awesome to see them back.
Now, wait a second. Now, I don't know if these guys are former mods and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them are. But I don't know if these guys are former mods or former pay pigs or whatever the case may be. But if they are former pay pigs or mods, how much did they have to pay to get unmodded? I mean, to get back into your good graces. I'm curious on how that works. Because it was obvious that they've been working on sock accounts until they can get their main accounts back. So, yet again, how much money had to change hands for something like this to happen? Because let's be honest, Phil ain't going to unban you for free. Like I said, there is a power struggle that happens over there with certain people's friends being banned and unbanned and so on and so forth. But for Phil to come to that point, definitely money was shilled up. I don't know.
I agree. Everyone deserves a second chance. In some cases with these guys, a third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth or ninth or 10th or 11th or 12th or 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 20th chance. But it's been some time, and hopefully, they're going to be chill now. Hopefully they'll just chill out and enjoy the streams. And we won't have...
Okay, so yet again, that right there kind of cradles my point. If these are people who've been banned multiple times, and yet they keep fighting for that account obviously has some sentimental value to it. On top of that, what type of monetary value did it have for Phil to unban them? I don't know. Just saying. Did the current mods basically, put all their money together in like a pot or something and like, yo, Phil, here you go. Here's our part of Lucky Charms. Let these guys off the hook. And Phil was like, shit, I barely remember any of these guys anyway, so sure, why not? Is that what happened, Phil? Is that what happened? Ugh, we'll never know. Dspnews.
Drama. Okay?
People hound for it. People have this innate desire for drama and attention and seeing, oh my god, the new thing about this and that.
And then Orchard said a 200-bit cheer. And says, this cheer is sponsored by the Crybaby Trolls who told me not to cheer, laughing out loud. Yeah, it's funny because, as I mentioned previously already, some people contribute, and when they do, this weird-ass group of people, and that's the only best way to describe them, they're just weirdo fucking people, will immediately message these people, whether it's private messages on Twitch or, tweet them or something stupid like that and say, why are you supporting Phil? And they never say anything that has any logic to it. They're just a bunch of fucking nincompoops. But it's funny because some people actually then say, well, since you're so up in arms about it, I'm just going to be even more supportive just to get at you. And then they do. So here's an example of Orcs or Dorks subscribe. Someone harasses them and will screw you.
Actually, there's a lot more truth to that than you would believe. There are people out there who will give Phil money just out of spite for the detractors. It's actually pretty interesting how that whole situation works out. I won't go into the details of it. You can find it on KB Farms and shit if you want to look for it. But yeah, there are people who actually do that. I mean, granted, if you're a detractor, that shouldn't spite you at all. It is what it is. It's their money. Let them do with it. That shit doesn't hurt, any of us. I mean, all you're doing is providing me with more current content. If not, I'm just going to go back into the old stuff, which is what I'm doing anyway. So either way, I win. But but then in truth, there are some people who are really pissed off that Phil gets money from whoever. There are really some people that are upset about it. And all I would tell you is it's not worth getting mad about, man. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. You know what I'm saying? All they're doing is throwing more. All they're doing is throwing more bacon grease on the fire. It is what it is. Sit back, have a smile on your face, enjoy the content, and just go from there. But in truth, it's all going to have to end eventually. And that's probably the more sadder part of it, but, you know, it is what it is. Dspnews.
I'm going to cheer now. So, there you go. Thank you very much, Orcs Are Dorks. Appreciate that. Sleepy Reader did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I always wanted to lose games with DSP. I can't wait for Thursday. He's talking about how I mentioned this Thursday I'm going to do another Apex Legends stream. Listen, I am not a person who's going to say that I'm good at this game. I'm not horrendously bad at it.
Any moment, I can pick up a controller, and I can play any game at professional level.
I'm just overall pretty good at all kinds of different games. I think I could take something like that World Cyber Games Ultimate Gamer. You want to know the truth? I'm probably one of the best overall gamers in the country. At the same time, I know I'm not good at it. It's been mostly teamwork between myself, Brian, and Kekin that got us the wins that we've gotten. It's not that, you know, any one of us is excelling hugely or anything. That's why I need to practice. You know, I need the practice to get better. So that's why I'm doing this session on Thursday. And yes, chances are, if you do actually join me on Thursday for co-op, we're probably going to lose. You know, we're probably going to lose. You know, there's nothing you can do about that.
In the last 10 years, that's basically been me. Phil, the infamous multi-time masturbator.
It is what it is. For me, being someone who has played games at a competitive level in the past, in particular Street Fighter,
I can tell you this. You gotta learn to be a good loser before you can be a winner.
And what I mean by that is, even though, quite frankly, a lot of times when I play games and I lose, I rage, I always try to learn something, alright? When you lose, as long as you're learning and as long as you strive to improve your game, that's a good thing. And that's why I get frustrated when I lose a game to lag, because that pisses me off, because like, I didn't learn anything. I lost because the game lagged, not because I was outplayed, not because our strategy was bad and my reactions were bad, because the game, you know, had a latency issue.
Silver-tongued talker.
No, it's because your reactions are bad, your eyesight's bad, all of it's bad because of you. You're not wearing your glasses because, I don't know, you think you're fucking special and you're not. You're getting older. You didn't take care of yourself in your youth and your eyes went bad. Even if you had taken care of yourself, you still would have needed glasses. Obviously, you've had glasses for a long time and you won't wear them. So that's your own fault. Your reflexes and reactions are bad because, one, you don't do anything. You don't do shit at all. You're out of shape. Your muscles are already in atrophy. You can see that. You can't just sit there and play video games all goddamn day and think that you're going to be okay with it. Shit, even who you would call professional gamer or pro gamers do exercises. Because guess what? You need muscle stimulation. It's what keeps you sharp. It's what keeps you alert. And then on top of that, Phil, those people don't sit around and watch wrestling and Netflix and drink gin and tonic all goddamn day. They actually get rest. They actually eat properly. They actually exercise. They actually interact with people. When you interact with people, it helps stimulate brain activity. These are all things that are important. You didn't want to do it. So now, look at you. You became an old man before you were actually an old man. You want to blame latency issues. Isn't that the reason why you got a new TV in the first place? To avoid latency issues? Oh, now there's even more latency issues. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Right? Oh, I'm just going to say it one way, and hopefully you'll believe it, even though that's not the truth. And that's literally what's happening here. The guy's a liar. The guy's a fucking blatant liar and lying to everyone. But people are believing it because they don't know any better.
You lose, that's frustrating because that's just a waste of time. Versus, okay, end of the game in Apex Legends, we go head up against this team, we get completely bodied. Hopefully you learn what you did wrong and you do better the next game. You see what I mean? So, in that regard, as long as you're learning, that's the important thing. Okay? Very nice.
Holy shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't see this, obviously, because I was giving shout-outs. I received a 10,000-bit anonymous cheer. Thank you. Really, thank you. Thank you very, 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 very much. If I could get down on my hands and knees and say thank you and still be on camera, I would do it. Okay?
Matter of fact, where's the 100,000 bits that Swaggins was supposed to come up with? I'm just saying. Does anybody remember that? GTG remembers that.
See, we do it. That's awesome stuff. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun now. Really, seriously, and I cannot wait for more. This is cool because I'm getting that positive vibe that I had for most of 2017. I'm getting it back now. Now, I'm getting that groove back, getting that vibe back. I'm ready for fun stuff. I hope you guys are ready.
Look at this greasy ass piece of shit. Get a little bit of money in his hands. I'm feeling that groove back. I'm getting that vibe back. Snort, I'm feeling really special right now. I'm going to crush some bottles for you. Hope you guys are ready because I'm ready to do it. You serious? Fuck out of here.
This is the largest cheer I've had this year so far. This is the largest cheer I've had probably since the fall. Because I haven't had any big ginormous cheers in a while. The last ginormous cheers I had, quite frankly, were from a certain person who turned out to be a troll and tried to get all their money back. Let me put it this way, Tutankhamun. How about this?
I'm telling you, with everything that I know, that that King Tut won that money. He won that money. Now, keep in mind, King Tut either which way won. He either won it and Phil got nothing, or they broke even. You know, both companies basically ruled in each other's favor. But it's the fact that Tut has his money back, or his parents' money, or whoever, continues to piss Phil off. And it's absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing that he's still holding on to that bullshit. Let that shit go. Let that shit go.
If we confirm that everything is legit, which sadly is going to take 2 months, if we can confirm everything is legit, and you contact me in 2 months, then I will send you a shirt, absolutely. But I can't. I'm not just going to send you a shirt.
And that's another thing too. Like, and I want you to think about this. Think about all of King Tut's reign, right? I'm still actually working on a side project to give you all the videos that Tut was mentioning. But think about King Tut's reign. Phil was an absolute hoe that whole time. He literally whored himself day in and day out for Tut. Even on days that Tut wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He wanted his hoe payment right then and there. He really did. He actually had days where he was depressed because Tut didn't show up. Phil showed his ass, literally, that whole time, that whole 2 months or whatever. And he looks back at it now and he was like, I was played for an absolute fucking idiot. And that's another reason why he holds such disdain against him. All that stuff about, oh, I don't have to beg, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that, I don't play this, I don't play that. You know, at the end of the day, I do what I want and I'm keeping it real. No, you were a whore. You were a whore for 2 months. And Tut paraded you around. And you were okay with it. Until the other foot dropped on you. And you should be ashamed of yourself, Phil. You should be. Because all that did was set a precedence for everybody else who came later. Amazing. Just imagine if Tut had continued to stay deep cover. Who knows what he could have made Phil do? Who knows what he could have made Phil say? Just imagine.
I have no guarantee of what's going on is legit, because remember, there may be a chargeback. Like, what if Twitch figures out, oh, this was a fraud, right? Then they might charge it back, and then none of this will count. And if I look down at the stream chat, and everything is tut, 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 it's going to
And yet again, what are you worried about a chargeback for, Phil, if you win every case that is ever thrown at you? Just asking. Dspnews.
ban, and then we're going to continue on like normal fucking humans and not idiots.
Which is fucked up, that all the tips and subs and everything, they actually tried to charge me back for all that shit. Pretty messed up. So, this is pretty significant. Thank you very much, whoever the anonymous cheerer is, and if anything,
you can lick my balls.
This is really cool, because the anonymous cheer system allows someone to contribute in a big way and not be known who they are. So this is cool that it has a new emote. It's a ghost whose arms are like sticking out and he has a happy face on, which is pretty neat. First time I've gotten, you know,
and here's another thing too, where he talks about this whole anonymous thing. I wanted to point this out. Yet again, by it being anonymous, he doesn't have to answer to anybody. He doesn't have to pander to an individual. Not, you know, one person doesn't have all the power and influence. You don't have to worry about Swaggins and Sidella, you know what I'm saying, coming up off the rails and shit. You know what I mean? Seidella on his Iron Buffalo, and Swaggin is just being a bitch on the porch. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Whoever it was that was anonymous, they gave it, and they're just another faceless person. He doesn't have to pander to him. He doesn't have to say, oh, I hope Tut comes out here because I'll be playing Street Fighter. Everybody knows. And he loves it when I play Street Fighter. He doesn't have to do any of that. Okay? Phil does not have to parade himself around and shit and get all dolled up for Tut to show up. It's just another faceless person. Yet again, this is how much one individual cut him. He let another man cut him this deep. Think about that. Absolutely amazing. And to Seidella, tell your mother I'll be by this weekend. Because as you know, I love me some milk cookies.
Large anonymous cheer. So thank you to whoever this is. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be today's top cheer of the day. I doubt anyone's going to be rivaling that one. So thank you very much to whoever that was. That's obviously an amazingly positive way to start off here. Thank you very, very much. All right. Well, King of Hypocrisy this year said, welcoming back King Kozatov in the new face of creation and spirit of forgiveness. Is there a chance Vidar and Third Eye can be unbanned? Vidar was never banned. Vidar was banned from Twitch. Permanently banned from Twitch. I never banned him. He's gone because he's gone by Twitch standards, not me. So, you know, that has nothing to do with me. As for Third Eye, this is a guy that actively tried to basically be malicious behind the scenes. Just to give you guys some perspective here. He tried to create an overlay for Christmas that had multiple, not one, multiple memes that were all relating to one of my detractors.
Who steals my content on a daily basis to make money for himself. Alright, it's pure greed and theft. It's illegal. But YouTube refuses to acknowledge that this guy is a thief. Alright, because it's too fucking lazy.
Homeless Joe just cheers, said, how come this guy on YouTube is streaming you? Oh, here we go, it's the troll. He's already banned, never mind. We already know that people on YouTube restreams me, and we also know that he uses view bots constantly.
So it doesn't matter what his views are, and it doesn't matter what he fucking says or does, he's a fucking criminal.
This fucking person constantly stealing content, which is against the law, doing slanderous actions immorally, which is, you know, just fucking wrong. It's against YouTube's terms of service, but he gets away with it. This is fucking terrible. Anyone who watches that shit is fucked in the head and morally corrupt, so enjoy.
Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I toxic?
I asked this guy about it. He directly told me it was not the case. He lied to me. Bare-faced. Now, if he had admitted, alright, you caught me. I was trying to be underhanded. I'm a fan of this guy and you. And, you know, but he didn't. He stone-faced fucking lied to me. And tried to swear to me that this wasn't the case. Then come to find out, this guy was going on other streams and talking shit about me with other streamers and basically trying to get beef between me and other streamers.
Wait a second, didn't King of Hypocrisy used to go over there to Rich from Review Tech USA streams and ask some questions about you? Didn't necessarily talk shit, but he asked some pretty pointed questions about you over there too. He never ended up catching no hits and catching no hands like this, or any hooves, I should say. Eh, whatever.
Yeah, third. I appreciate the dono, man, and letting me know.
And that's the last straw. You know, there's a big difference between someone who is on the stream and maybe talks a little bit of shit about me and doesn't get the message and gets banned and then gets let back in, versus someone who actually stone-faced fucking lied to me and then went outside of my stream to try to get me in trouble. Fuck that guy. That guy is not coming back. He's an asshole. Alright? That's a big difference. Okay?
How's the gout, Phil?
Oh my god, here's another one. How's the gout, Phil? Another idiot. This is great.
How's that gout?
How's that gout? Who was it? Hold on, now I have to freaking manually mute everyone.
How's that Seattle Air, Phil? Yes, I want to play a game, yes.
Alright, you will. Don't worry, you will. I just gotta find out who this idiot is now. Say it again. No, say it again. Say, how's that gout? Go ahead.
How's that Seattle Air?
Come on, say it again. I mean, you're so dumb, I know you'll say it again. Say it. Say, how's that gout? Come on.
So with the gout, how's your daughter? What's the gout?
He's still saying it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, parent, let's go. Give me a cracker. Wow. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there you guys go on that. I think all points were pretty much made on for both of those broadcasts. Like Phil's yet again still resentful to Tut, still running around holding his disdain for Tevin. Basically, you can pay your way out of ban world or the Snort dungeons, if you will. I mean, hey, everybody at Goutopia has a price, right? And that's it. He's driven by money. It's all he knows. It's all he really cares about. And like I said, he's already tried to exploit Kat. He did that in the first year. We saw how that failed, so that's why we don't see it no more. She didn't, he couldn't profit off her. Well, it's not that he can't. He just can't do it properly. And so that's the end of that. Not much is going to change, but we'll keep an eye out for whatever new comes up. And as this vacation draws nearer and nearer, as well as, closer and closer, sorry. And this pending amount for his taxes, well, things should get interesting, hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate you making us part of your day, and we will see you for the next broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network Productions. I am your host, /anchor, GTG, and I am signing off. Take care of yourself, guys. End of broadcast.
Did his best in there with a champion. Shit. The fuck.